Is this really our fourth one of these things?
It's crazy. I know.
So that's 8 weeks worth because we do it every 2 weeks.
So that's 2 months.
That's crazy. Won't be long. It'll be on number 26 and it'll be a full year.
4 reasons to use
Hello.
HMAP.
Hey, we had our speaker on.
I apologize.
Now it's off. It's okay. How's everybody doing? Everybody doing good? We have got a huge amount of pictures this time. Apparently people like to make bokeh photos. And usually I forget to do this till about halfway through. But thank you to everyone who sent in pictures. With that in mind, we might have to start limiting the number of pictures to maybe 3. We always appreciate getting the pictures, but man, it's a lot this time. I'd like to get this many pictures from more people. So, we want to get more and more people to participate, and in order to do that, we'll probably have to get less photographs from each person. But bokeh, bokefied, bokefication, bokelicious. Bokeh was apparently something that you guys like to do, so I'm glad I picked that one for this time. And so the next live stream that's available is our good buddy David, and you can participate in his live stream this coming Tuesday at 5:30. Send your pictures to georgiaphotog@gmail.com, and his subject this week is photos with texture. Heather and I have already sent ours in, and I wonder if people will even know what mine is. It's kind of weird. But anyway, so photos with texture is what David's doing next time. And what's new with you?
Not a whole lot.
You've been working a lot today.
Oh, yeah.
If anybody has watched our video where we went down to the daycare that's at the beginning of the neighborhood, and Heather found a barn swallow nest. Well, Heather gets off work on Thursdays at 5. I'm working on getting the live stream set up and ready. Heather goes down to the beginning of the neighborhood, goes to California Smothered Burrito, the truck that was there the night that we did that video, brings it back. We scarf down that food. Oh man, my stomach's about to explode with salsa and jalapenos. And anyway, it's so good. But so we just got done with California Smothered Burrito, and it's awesome. Hey, check out this shirt. I've got the UFO abducting the Sasquatch shirt, and let me show you. A buddy of mine, or a friend of ours, bought me this hat. This alien spaceship abducting a Bigfoot or a Sasquatch, kind of as a gag gift for Christmas. But it fits my head really good, and Heather likes the way it looks on me. So. And this will be a little insider information. Anytime you see one of the videos and I have that hat on, that means I've
brushed his hair.
That means I've probably gotten straight out of bed, thrown some deodorant on, and gone out to do photography without fixing my hair, taking a shower, or anything. So, but recently, my birthday that he got it for me was during the winter or fall, and so now it's hot, and I was wearing it and got some sweat stains on it, and I said I should try to find another hat like that, and I did. And I also found a shirt, and I'm not necessarily a believer in Sasquatch. I think if there was such thing as a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, there'd probably be a fossil record of it by now. And I might not even be a believer in UFOs, but I just like the logo and the idea that the UFO came and abducted the Sasquatch, and that's why we don't have them anymore. I think it's cute. So anyway, this is my new shirt. First time I've ever worn it. Do you think we should tell them the other huge news for the day?
Oh, sure.
You want to tell them, or you want me to tell
We're
them?
going to Disney World.
Disney World, Disney World, Disney World. We're going to Disney World. So we may have told you a month ago, maybe, that we've got reservations at Disney World, but we don't have tickets, and without tickets, you can't go to the parks, or even now you have to have a reservation at the park. We got a reservation at a Disney hotel, and this morning they started selling tickets, and of course we spent a ton of money and got tickets for me and Heather, and got some for my daughter Casey, And we are going. Oh man, that California smothered burrito is really sitting in my tummy. We're going to Disney World. We got reservations to the parks. We're going. Of course, they require masks and they've got hand sanitizer everywhere. So even though kind of Florida is going crazy with the Rona right now, I feel like it's, people wear masks around here in Hamilton County. That matter of fact, they're starting to require them starting tomorrow in Hamilton
Yeah.
County, Tennessee. But people kind of wear them begrudgingly, or I've seen them wear them around their chin instead of where they actually go. I feel like there at Disney World, where there's going to be cast members enforcing it, we probably have a better chance of not getting the Rona than right here at home. So, anyway, we're going to Disney World, and we're super excited about that. Let's talk about the channel of the week. I like to feature a smaller. This is the first time I've featured a YouTube channel that's actually larger than mine. Not that mine's large at all, but I like to feature a less than 10,000 subscriber YouTube channel. And this guy right here, his name is Mike Motes, and he is a macro photographer, and he's very thrifty as well. Let me tell you about him. Mike uses a D7000 as his camera, which was a very, very nice camera in 2011. You know what? Turns out it's still a very, very nice camera because the photographs he makes with that old camera are fantastic. He uses a D7000 and two lenses. He uses Tamron 90mm macro, and he uses the one lens to rule them all, the Tamron 18-400, which I believe is what Heather uses as her macro lens. I'm sure that that's what Joy uses as her macro lens. Anyway, that's the two lenses this guy uses, and his videos are really interesting. Sometimes he'll ride a bicycle along bicycle trails because he can cover more ground, and constantly looking for flowers to photograph. And he uses he uses three interesting tools. He uses a thing that's made by Wembley called a plamp, P-L-A-M-P, and you can put a spike into the ground, and this articulating arm clamp comes off of it, and you can either, if it's a little windy, you can hold your flower in place with it, or you can hold the other thing he uses, and is one of these. He uses, let's see if I can make this go. He uses a 12-inch. Isn't that cool? He uses a 12-inch
diffuser.
Thank you. I know exactly what this is called, but when it comes time to actually say it, I forget. He uses a 12-inch diffuser, and he puts it above the plant, and it softens the light coming down on the plant when he's making a picture. 12 inch is all you need for macro. You need something bigger than this for portraits or something, but for macro, a 12-inch diffuser is all you need. So he uses that clamp, which is the clamp that can hold this. And the other thing that he does, which I think is really cool, I'd never heard of this before. Sometimes if you're doing macro photography, you can get a clear enough background to where it won't be cluttered looking, and it'll bokeh-fy, it'll be bokeh-licious, it'll be Boca Raton. Wait a minute, that's a city. Anyway, but what he does is he goes out with his camera and takes an out of focus photograph of like some grass or something, and then he'll print that, just about 8.5 by 11 size, like a sheet of printer paper, and he'll put it on like a piece of cardboard or something to make it stiff, and he'll bring that with him. And if he's got a background, like let's say he's trying to take a picture of this beer, and the background is all cluttered, he will just hold or use that clamp thing behind the flower, and it gives it a bokeh-fied background. It's awesome, even though it's not actually, it's a photograph of bokeh. I think it's brilliant what he does. So let me put his. So check out Mike Motes. His channel is really cool, and he comes up with inexpensive ways. The 18-400 is not an expensive lens. The Tamron 90mm macro is not an expensive lens. You can pick up a used D7000 for probably next to nothing. Make me an offer on mine. It's available. And he makes really, really fantastic photographs. So Mike Motes, the channel of the week. What else we got? We already talked about David's channel. We talked about David's texture. Don't forget to send in to David's texture live stream this coming Tuesday.
I think that's all for right now.
Okay, well, it's 6:09. We usually like to kind of vamp and talk for about 9 or 10 minutes before we get started with pictures. And it's 6:10, so let's take a look. You guys are not going to believe this. Look at all these pictures. 58 photographs were sent in. Well, 3 of them are mine and 2 of them are Heather's. So 53 photographs were sent in for this week's live stream. You guys like bokeh.
Boca Fad.
Bokeh-fied trademark. All right, so let's get started. Here we go.
Is this Richard?
Yeah.
Oh, no?
No, that's Peter.
That's Peter.
Sorry. Am I on the first one?
Yeah.
Okay. This is Peter. I think this is the first time that Peter sent in pictures. I think, if I'm mistaken, I apologize, but this is a beautiful black and white photograph. I'm not sure exactly what sort of flower or plant that is.
It almost looks like a blue bonnet.
Yeah, it's really pretty, whatever it is, and I like the what's the word I'm looking for? The vignette in it, and it is definitely bokeh-fied. Can't tell exactly what he shot it with. 50mm f 1.2.
1.2.
May be what it is. You know, he may have sent a email message. Let me see if I can find that.
Sure what that is. It's pretty.
Let's see if I can find Peter's email message. It may shed some light on the subject here. You see it, Heather? Oh, there it is.
Right there. Oh, he's in Knoxville.
Hi, Phil and Heather. I'm glad I found your channel. I live in Knoxville. Sorry, no watermark. The color flower is let's skip to black and white flower. He's 63 years old, Hungarian amateur photographer. Pictures look fantastic. Old camera close up.
Ah.
I can't figure out exactly what camera he's used from this email, but anyway, the picture's
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's very, very cool.
And thank you for sending it in. All right, moving along. This is Richard.
Ooh.
This is Richard, 24mm shot. He said he focused on one of those flowers, and it's hard to figure out which one it is. So,
Yeah, fair.
but it's beautiful, and
It
there's
is.
bokeh is not Richard's thing. We've been seeing his photographs for quite some time, and he's kind of fantastic at getting everything in focus. So.
Oh. Peter says 50mm 1.2 with a D70 700.
Awesome. Very, very cool. Thank you for helping me figure that out, or helping us figure that out, Peter. But he's kind of an everything in focus kind of guy. So bokeh is not his. I mean, his you don't have to have bokeh to have a great picture.
But this is cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So thank you, Richard. Here's another one of Peter's. There's one coming up of Peter's, Heather, that you're going to love.
I might have already spotted it.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Look at the beautiful
This
colors
is
in this.
Gorgeous.
I can't tell what kind of flower that is. I'm not well versed in botanical things, but it's very pretty. I love the colors.
Yeah. I'm not entirely
Looks
sure
like-
what it is.
That's a 35 f2, maybe. That's what it's showing on the screen. It's funny. It shows 0mm and 0.
Yeah, but
Yeah. But anyway, very cool. I bet that's a 35 f 1.8 or f2.
yeah,
Making that shot.
it's gorgeous.
Very nice, Peter. Thanks for saying. I love the colors.
Mm-hmm.
Did I mention that already?
Yeah, but
Oh.
it's worth repeating.
Okay. Next. Whoops. I'm not in the right window. Next. Okay, this
Hummer.
this is Tim C.
Cotter, is that?
I think that's right. I follow him on Instagram, and his name is not Tim C on Instagram, and he's been posting the most amazing bee and bug macro photos lately. But here's a beautiful photograph of this ruby-throated hummingbird, and he is at, this is an XT3, I believe, and he's using he has the 200mm f2.
Oh.
That's the exotic Fuji lens. It's like it's an exotic lens, It's a 200 millimeter f2, and look, he's got his 1.4 teleconverter on it, making it a 280 at f2.8. Holy crap! A teleconverter on your lens, and you're still only at 2.8.
Holy
That is awesome.
smokes.
Beautiful photograph. Nice gear. Beautiful bird. I guess that's a female.
Yeah, it's
or
either a female or very, very young male.
a youngster. It's awesome. Very pretty. Thanks for sending that in, Tim. Oh, also there's Spoka.
There's Boca.
You know, the reason why the bird stands out so much is because the background is nicely out of focus.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, you can have bokeh with circles and all sorts of stuff that's fun to look at, but you know, bokeh can just be that the background's way out of focus, which gives separation and more definition to your subject.
Mm-hmm.
So, great job. All right, this is Richard's other photograph. I think this may be the first time Richard's ever sent a color photograph into the live stream. And it's beautiful, and there's definitely some nice bokeh. I guess that's a rose. Is that a rose?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's like a Tennessee orange rose, wouldn't you say? Heather doesn't like Tennessee very much. But she lives here, so it'll grow on.
Only because you do.
Oh, well, that's nice. Very pretty.
Anyway, this is very, very pretty.
24 millimeter f3.5 shot of these beautiful roses with lots of pretty bokeh. I like the high key of it as well. You know, that's enough. High key's hard. I might do a high key challenge at some point, but I think it might be too early in the game to do a high key challenge, because that might limit the entries quite a bit. But that's
Like that. Out of focus.
This one right up here is the one you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Heather's pointing to this area.
I
of the
really
screen.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Richard ought to take up photography. He's pretty good at that. All right, thanks, Richard.
This is the one I saw.
Here is Peter's kitty cat shot.
Kitty.
I love it. It's like the cat's like, dude, I'm checking out these bokeh balls. Go away. Leave me alone. I'm trying to chill over here on the couch. That's an awesome photograph.
I love this.
Yeah,
so
I've been. He sent this in. When did he send this in? He sent it in 4 days ago, and I've been saying, oh, I can't wait till Heather sees this one, because she's going to like it. That's look at that. That's an 85 millimeter f1.4. I wonder if that's the G or the D. The cream machine is what they used to call the 85 f1.4D, because it's so creamy. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you want to look at the cat some more? Hello, kitty.
I want the kitty.
You can't have the kitty. We've already got a kitty and a dog.
We can have another kitty.
Oh, jeez. Don't send the kitty. Thank you, though. Thanks, Peter. All right, now this one.
This is cool.
Oh, wait just a minute. There's a story that goes along with this, and I wonder if all of his are together.
I see 3 that look very similar.
Yeah. Okay, we might have to do some skipping around. Okay, so this is Ian. And Ian, let's see if I can open up his email. Phil, I have attached 5 images for you to choose from, plus 3 to illustrate the background layers. I do not expect you to use the whole lot. I used the whole lot. I mainly included the lot so you can get a better handle on what I'm doing. Now, to try to explain, I'm using ON1 Photo RAW 2020 for post-processing. Just in case you do not know, I do not know. It is an editor which, roughly speaking, combines the capabilities of Lightroom and Photoshop. Each image, which does itself have some bokeh already, has a background layer applied to it around 35% opacity. The layer is then masked out over the central flower, which was the focus point, to make it pop. Okay, so this is one of his bokeh-fied backgrounds, which has the name Kaleidoscope. This is one of his bokeh-fied backgrounds that he applies as a layer behind a flower photo called green_yellow. And this one is one that's called red-green. And he applies these to other photos. So this is we're gonna skip to we need to find Ian's other pictures. Sorry, Mike.
We'll be back, Mike.
We'll come back to your shot here in just a minute. Let me go to grid. Okay, so this one with
That one?
yes. one. I think these 5 are his 5 right in a row.
Oh, okay.
So, this one is Ian's photo called Color Burn. Color Burn used the kaleidoscope, which is the very first one we showed, as the background he mixed in. It's very subtle. You really can hardly see it, but it's there, just barely. Beautiful photograph. The technique is mind-blowing, but it's very cool. And he made this with the 105 f2.8 macro lens, which is cool. I was using that lens a lot yesterday. All right, so this next one, whoopsie. Respond, Mr. Computer.
Easy.
This next one is called Saturation. Soft light and saturation use the red-green background. That really bright red and green background is the one he mixed in with this one.
That's cool.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, this one is Normal. Normal used the green yellow. Very pretty flower. I like the light on it too.
Yeah.
And Soft Light used the red green. That's pretty too.
Yeah.
And this was the first one he sent me when he described the technique. This is called Hue, and Hue used the kaleidoscope background. Very pretty.
I like those flowers.
Yeah, those are great flowers. I don't know what kind they are.
I want some.
Okay, so now
Peter said he used the G35.
Oh, the 85 f1.8.
Or 85.
Yeah, I got you. I've got the poor man's version of that. I've got the 1.8, and it does really good. I'm very happy with it.
Okay, so we're going back to Mike.
Yeah. So let's look again at those backgrounds.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so these are the backgrounds that Ian blended in. There's kaleidoscope. There's green _ yellow, and there is red - green.
That's so cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of what our featured channel guy does with holding a bokeh-fied background behind, but this is done in the computer instead.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's see. Here is Mike Mitchum.
This is very pretty.
Mike sold us the XT3 that is currently
This looks like.
making this video.
I love it when you guys send in flower photos because.
Heather's over here Googling flowers. That's pretty.
Yes,
And
I was right. It's yellow chicory.
yeah, we photographed some of that around here. It almost, if you're just glancing at it and don't see the rest of it, it almost looks like a dandelion, but it's chicory.
It looks like a chicory.
Yeah. Well, there's purple. It's purple chicory that's over by the boat ramp, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Very nice. Thanks, Mike. Beautiful. All right, this is George Nagata. Oh, and he got a bee on there. When I first glanced at this picture, I was just in a hurry getting the pictures ready to go. I didn't notice the bee, but I think the bee makes the picture, and that is definitely bokeh-fied with the 18 to 55, 3.5 to 5.6 at 55 millimeters, and f10, and still has bokeh. How about that? Beautiful, beautiful. Is that a honeybee?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It looks like one.
It's a pretty bee.
Yeah, it's fuzzy. I like it.
It's fuzzy. All right, now this is Jim Kennedy. And I think this is Jim's first time sending pictures in, and I think Jim goes by another name besides Jim. I think he is.
Look for Kennedy.
Yeah, he's. How would you pronounce that? Foo Snacks?
Fooey Snacks?
Oh.
Snacks?
PHOOESNAX.
Ah.
That's a female, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, most def.
Yeah, and he's using the 200 to 500 f5.6. I think he told me in one of these emails. D500. D500 and the 200 to 500. A lethal combination.
I really like this.
Yeah, I like the fence.
Well, and I like the background. It's cool. Like, it's brown. I don't know. I'm not.
It's cool.
Like, I'm not quite sure what's there.
It's
you know.
brown. I think it's like some woods or something would be my guess.
Yeah, but would there be some green? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like it very much.
Yeah. Okie dokie. It's cool.
Shushi.
It's brown. That's my girl right there. All right.
Now
Mike,
that's a male.
Mike Mitchum, and he has made this with the 100 to 400 Tamron. I'm not sure what camera that is, and that he has a Tamron, because he's kind of
He's got the Fuji
Let's see if I can find it. He may have said it in his email. Oh,
that's from last week.
I've gone too far back. Oh, no text. So don't know exactly, but whatever it is, it's beautiful. I like the light on the eye right here is pretty. And of course the bokeh is just right.
The color is good too.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
It's hard to have a lot of light in the background and not much light on your subject and have it still look appealing, but Mike has done it.
He was using the EOS R.
Ah, okay, cool, very nice. Canon man, that's a great lens. That well, I don't actually know about the Tamron 100 to 400, but the Canon 100 to 400 is an amazing lens. It has a ridiculous minimum focus distance. All right,
Cute.
This is Tim with a female fox squirrel.
Oh, she's cute.
And this is an XT3 thing with the 100 to 400, I believe. Very pretty.
Yeah.
LM means linear motor, OIS means optical image stabilization, and WR means weather resistant. I've learned all of my Fuji letters.
It's like the squirrely thingy. I'm on a roll.
Yes, you are. Look, the grass in the foreground's out of focus, too.
Yeah, it's the only thing in focus.
Yeah, and it's tack sharp.
Yeah.
He usually sends pretty large files. That thing is tack sharp.
Yeah. It's gorgeous. I love it.
Cool. Thanks, Tim. I've never seen a squirrel like that.
It's called a fox squirrel.
Yeah, I've never seen one.
I've never seen one, but it's cute.
It's purty. That's a purty squirrel right there. Purty. Would you let it get on the bird feeder?
I might not shoot that one with a super soaker.
we do shoot the squirrels with a squirt gun to try to save the bird seed for the birds. That's our thing. All right, now here everybody has heard me say that it's impossible to get a photograph of a blue jay, so everybody's rubbing it in and sending blue jay pictures in. Here's a beautiful blue jay picture that Mike sent in. Looks like with the same gear as the previous photo. Very nice, and I you know, it's the same. It's the same qualities that the last photo had. A lot of light in the background, and yet still attractive light on the subject.
Yeah.
That's a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one has, you know, with the light going through these leaves, has some nice circularness.
Bokeh-fied.
Bokeh-fied. Bokalicious. Thanks, Mike. Think I should go to the next one?
Yep.
Okay.
This one has some purple in it. Ooh.
Oh, this is George. George sent another one in, and it has a cute bee. I think that might be the same kind of bee that was on in my the Arsenias when I made that video recently. My Fuji videos don't do well. People don't like them. I think they're expecting me to do Nikon all the time, which I do Nikon quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I like to use my Fuji too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I really, really like this a lot.
I mean, what's in focus? Just the bug.
Yeah.
And that's it. Maybe this right here.
Yeah.
Maybe some of that. And everything else just drifts into oblivion.
It's so pretty.
It's like he's standing on top of a skyscraper of beautiful purple flowers.
Mike says they put Pam on the feeder post so the squirrels slide right down.
I like it. I've seen people put a slinky on it too, so when it gets up and it grabs the slinky, it slides down. That's pretty.
Yeah. Next. Holy guacamole!
Now this is Tim, who I mean, you know what? I am going to find his name on Instagram so I can refer people to it, because he posts a lot of really
This
cool.
is so cool.
Oh man, usually I go just a little ways before I run into one of his pictures, and now I'm digging for hours and can't see one. Go ahead and talk about the picture while I find his Instagram name.
Okay. So you put me on the spot.
Oh no!
I like it a lot. The
That's
color. Stop it.
She's hitting me under the table.
The color is great. I mean, that thing is so sharp. You can see the tiny little hairs around it. It's awesome.
Tim, you
He
should.
says ALPA
Thank you.
6C.
You know, as soon as I quit looking, it'll be the next one. Yeah, follow him on Instagram at ALPA6C, because he's posting pictures like this one. Usually, I'm thinking 3 or 4 a day.
That's amazing.
I mean, awesome, 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 awesome. And this is with, he's using an XT3, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. And I guess that's the 80 millimeter macro with his teleconverter. Very cool. Very cool. I think Tim's got the 100 to 400, the 200 f2, the 80 millimeter. He's a Fuji man, and he's making it look good.
It's cool.
I like it. Very nice. Look at the
out of focusness.
the bokeh-ness.
Okay, next one.
Oh, look. See, I told you.
Awesome.
I think the only thing in focus on this one is his eyeballs.
Eyes.
That's
Look
it.
at that.
Everything else is just mush. But it's, you know, if you know, the old the strategy with photography is, if you're only going to get one thing in focus, make sure it's the eye. And so it doesn't even matter. It's just perfect.
He said his Instagram name it's based on the very first real camera he ever used was an Alpa Model 6C made in Switzerland.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
This is awesome.
a robber fly. So that's very cool. Thanks, Tim.
My niece would like these a lot.
Yep.
She likes bugs.
All right. I was just kind of getting an idea of where we were, if we're going too fast or too slow.
Ooh.
This is, I think he actually goes by Joe, but his name's Joseph. And this is the first time, I believe, that Joe sent in pictures to the live stream. So thank you. Thanks for joining us. Very cool. Look at this turtle, and look at all this bokeh.
The bokeh.
This is fantastic, because let's see.
It's a smaller file, but
Yeah, it's, you know, but the eyes are sharp, which is the key,
yeah.
as we talked about just a minute ago on Tim's picture. And so you got all this bokeh up here, and it's reflecting on the water.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Yes.
And I guess that's a log. I don't know, but it's got water droplets on it that are having a pleasing. And let's see, that looks like that's a 200 to 500 f5.6.
So cool. I love the reflection of the turtle too.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. I was
See
so
a full
busy
face.
being mesmerized by the bokeh to see it. Cool.
Next turtle.
This is another one of his turtles. I like the previous one a lot better. This one's still very cool. Is that a, can you identify that? It's not a red ear
It's
slider.
not a red ear.
It's some other kind of slider. It's
cute.
got a lot of, is that in the foreground?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering as well, what that texture was.
I can't quite figure out
cool.
what's going on there, but it's cool, yeah. It's almost like he had to,
Like shoot through maybe.
like, yeah, he's shooting through some foliage to get the shot.
Yeah.
But you know, it's hard to get a turtle shot without spooking it.
Painted turtle, he said.
Painted turtle, that makes sense, because it's more colorful in this area.
Yeah. Green is from shooting through
Shooting
grass.
through grass, yeah,
Yep.
that makes sense. It's cool looking. It's
Yeah.
an interesting. It's almost like a texture filter has been added to it.
Yeah.
But it's not blocking the turtle itself. It's like I don't know.
It's yeah, I like it.
It is neato. I still like the first picture the best though, because it is
Look at this
Oh.
one. He has a little fly on his nose.
I didn't notice that when I was getting them loaded in. There's two of them. There's a fly
Yeah.
here too. And this has got some texture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, man, this dude is a texture master.
Look at the
Yeah.
The
So
shine
it's a
coming
light
off
star
of-
coming off
yeah.
off of that. It's another 200 to 500 shot. Fantastic lens. Fantastic. Best lens you can get for the money of that type of lens, in my opinion. Opinions do vary, of course. All right, what's next?
Oh,
Okay,
that a
this
song
is-
sparrow?
I think, is that a song or a chipper? It's probably
It
a
doesn't
song.
look like a chipper. It doesn't have the right stuff.
It's cute, whatever it is. And
Yeah.
this is Jim, also
Oh,
using a
okay.
200 to 500. I think this is his third of three.
Maybe it is a chipper. It's a sparrow, but it's cute.
Yeah. Does it have something in its mouth?
Yeah,
it's got
looks
a-
like it's got a grub or a caterpillar or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. That's a song sparrow. Very pretty. Very pretty and nice bokeh. Thanks, Jim.
Another one.
There's Jim. See, everybody's rubbing it in because I can't get a picture of a
This is gorgeous.
of a blue jay. Look at all the colors in the background. I think I remember reading in the email. He said this one just flew up and landed on his chair on his porch.
What? How could we get so lucky?
I don't know. Ours will. If I'm outside, they must think I'm some sort of. I don't know. They don't like me.
They think you're gonna steal their peanuts.
Yeah, if I see them, they leave. That's beautiful. Especially, you know, the
Mhm.
bird. This is kind of like you've got the bright background and the not as bright bird, which
Yeah.
wouldn't traditionally be the formula, but it sure does look good in these pictures we're seeing tonight. It's got the good twinkle in the eye, which is the cornerstone of a good bird photo, is a sharp eye with a twinkle. Really nice. Good job, Jim.
This one's Woody.
All right, now Woody, he just sent this one in. It's not a bokeh photograph, but he saw our video about the mama osprey that came out recently, and he sent this in. So this is I guess it's an osprey nest on the backside of this fence, and you can see this is definitely a
Youngster.
juvenile with the orange eyes, and this one is a juvenile with the orange eyes, and this is an adult. I can't see the breast to tell if it's the male or the female, but I bet it's the female.
Probably.
But anyway, that's very cool. And look at this. He made it with the 70 to 200.
Holy
So-
smokes!
So, and no teleconverter or anything, because it'd be 280 with a teleconverter.
Had a lot of light too.
Yeah. He said, look at the bokeh in the background. Joking, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you sent that in. We hope to do some osprey photography next year, and maybe some later this year, but just wandering around on the lake. We can't go to our favorite spot. Oh, and also at the Chickamauga Dam, the tailwaters of the dam is a
Oh,
good
yeah.
spot. Probably actually right now, or maybe when we come back from vacation. Did we mention we're going to Disney World? Anyway, not to rub it in or anything. All right, here is
Oh.
Woody Mallory with a photograph of a flag. It looks like at the lake or at the marina or something.
Yeah.
And that is definitely some bokeh, and it's beautiful colors. And is that what is that, a pulley? I think that's a pulley of some sort.
It does look like one.
It looks like, I mean, I'm thinking this is a pretty small flag,
Oh yeah.
so it's not a huge pulley. Let's see, he told me what it was. Maybe I can read about it over here on the pewter.
Joy said her blue jays holler for peanuts, and apparently Cuban Rum's blue jays call out to him to put out dry cat food.
Man.
And we need to feed him Ruby's food.
Okay, I'm sure Ruby won't mind.
Ruby would like it. There would be more birds.
Oh, that's true. She does like to watch the birds. Okay, so Woody's other photo must be further up here. Ah, here it is. This entry was taken from the Maryland side of the Potomac
Ooh.
River that splits Virginia and Maryland. The object in the water is a boat. So that
That's probably
bokeh-fied
what I.
thing
yeah.
over there is a boat. And the Virginia shore is 1.7 miles across the river. Photo taken with the D7100 and the Tamarin 70 to 200 G2. Very cool.
Yeah, very very cool.
All right. Next up, this is David. What's the name of that flower?
That's a coneflower.
Thank you. I knew you would know. And I like how this one is nicely in focus, and the rest of them are gone.
When I walk around our neighborhood, our neighbor has some coneflowers like this, and I've been looking at them, wanting to make a shot like this.
Well, I took a picture of the people right across the street. They have lantana growing in there, but it's right by the mailbox, so I didn't have to go in their yard at all to get that picture. I'm not going to go traipsing across somebody's yard, but I didn't mind standing in the road taking a picture of their flower. That was okay with me.
Yeah, this is very pretty, David.
Yeah, thanks, David. Hey, David's birthday is coming up. He will be some number less than my current number on July the 11th. So everybody make sure and wish him a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, David.
All right. Okay.
We're back to
these are
Ian's.
Ian's, which we've already looked
We
at,
go
so we
here
can
now.
skip right through those. And then,
Or to one of yours, it looks
yes, this right here is me and Heather and David Sailors, the soon-to-be birthday boy, were doing some photography, and I wanted a beer and some coffee. So you don't be ashamed. If you want beer and coffee, just order them both, and that's what I did. We went to a place that's at the Chattanooga Choo Choo called the Frothy Monkey, and this was made with the XT3 and the 18 to 55 kit lens. I was at 18 millimeters and f2.8. Just set the camera on the table, and if you look close right here, you can see the smoke coming off the coffee, and also to a lesser extent right here. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. David was making fun of me because it was taking me really a long time to get this photo together, and I'm sitting here with an autofocus lens, and he had made a shot of me in just like that, manual focus. But good things come to those who wait. It turned out all right. I think my focus point was here on the foam of the beer, and everything else is pretty much out of focus. So there's one of mine. Yay me.
Yay.
Beer and coffee, the cornerstone of any trip to the Frothy Monkey. All right, so this is Woody. This is I think he sent 3, and this is the third one. It doesn't say what it is, but it's he made it with the D7100 and the 17 to 55 2.8 DX lens.
It's daylily.
Oh, okay. It's like the ones growing at the yeah.
They come in all kinds of different colors.
Gotcha. I photographed a daylily, different color, just recently when once again me and Heather and David were hanging around at
we were at
Coolidge Park. Yeah, Coolidge Park, which is just on the North Shore in Chattanooga. Very pretty. I like the colors. It almost reminds me of those peppers that we took pictures of.
Oh yeah, at the
over at the Evelyn
garden.
at the learning garden that's at the Chattanooga Food Bank.
Yeah.
Really pretty. Oh, and there are some nice.
Pokeballs.
In addition to just being out of focus, there's some out of focus with character back here. Very pretty. Thanks, Woody. Oh, there's my daughter Casey. This is made with the XT3 and the $15 Hanamex, made in Korea. Hanamex 135 millimeter f2.8 M42 screw mount lens. I was making what ended up being kind of a half butt cheek review of that lens. I just ended up making a bunch of photographs with it around the neighborhood, and I said, you know what, it's a portrait lens. Before I finish this video, I need to make a portrait with it. So this is my daughter standing on the back porch, and that thing, it's not the sharpest lens in the world. I tried and tried and tried to get her eyes perfectly sharp, and I just couldn't do it. And I think it wasn't me, even though it is manual focus. I think that lens just is not tack sharp. But boy, the out of focus qualities of it are a force to be reckoned with, especially for $15. If anybody knows the illustrated history of the Hanamex 135 f2.8 M42 mount, let me know, because I have no idea. I don't know how old it is. I'm thinking just because it's got a rubber surround on the focus throw that it might be 80s instead of 70s, but I don't know. Anyway, there's my daughter. All right, this is Ray Soldano. That's one of Heather's over here trying to identify.
It's a stargazer.
Yeah,
What I thought.
those are Kayla's. She planted those. Now, Ray sent me, I think, 3 shots of this flower, and he's using, I think he's using extension tubes on his 120 to 300 Sigma f2.8, which is just an awesome. Sigma's. I think it's Sigma. I'll be embarrassed if it's
Yeah, I
not.
think.
Sigma's had this lens. I think they're on their 3rd generation of it, and nobody else had anything like it. And now finally, now that the F mount is kind of on its final days, Nikon has come out with one that costs what, $6,000 or something, and darn well worth it, I would say. But anyway, Ray's had his for a while, bought it used, and does well with it. And I like, normally I would try to focus in this area on the reproductive parts, what they call it, stamen or something.
So the middle one, that green, is the stigma, and then these are stamen, and then the anther.
Okay, Ray has told me that
just minimum focus.
No extension tubes on this one, just minimum focus distance. Well, that's got a nice minimum focus distance, Ray. That's a good close photo. And anyway, normally I would try to focus here, but on a flower like this, if you focus here, you're gonna lose the pretty part of the flower.
Yeah.
So I think he made exactly the right choice there, and I want you to.
Unless you're like at what, F15 or something.
Yeah, well, he's at 2.8.
F16.
And then, but take a look at this next one. Okay, so same flower, or it may not be the exact same flower, but the same type of flower. And this time, he has to name those again.
So the long one is the stigma, that's the female, and then these are stamen, these are the male reproductive organs.
Okay, he's got them perfectly sharp, but it's a side view, so that you're not sacrificing much.
Right.
So I really like the choices that he made. I think he made exactly the right choice on where to put his focus point on this one and this one, and they're both absolutely beautiful photographs. Great job, Ray.
Yeah, this is gorgeous.
Great job. All right, next we have, this is another one of Peter's photos. This is a 600 millimeter f4 shot. Now there's an exotic lens. Lots of exotic lenses in this evening's submissions. A 600 f4 at 1/125th of a second, so that is super slow shutter speed for that lens. But with my 500 f4, I go really low on shutter speed a lot too, and the vibration reduction. I'm assuming this is the Nikon. The VR is fantastic in those lenses. Is that a crow or a raven? I guess it's
That's
a crow.
a crow.
Beautiful. It's hard to get a good picture of a crow because they're so dark.
Yeah.
But he's got nice. Look at that. You can see. I believe you can see the sky and clouds in this bird's eyes. So that is completely awesome.
Yeah.
And beautiful out of focus areas as well. I like the. I guess that's a 16:9.
Yeah, it looks like a 16:9.
Yeah. Or anyway, I like a wide crop, so that's cool.
Mhm.
Good job. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah.
All right, here's Peter again, wearing out that 600 f4 with a beautiful female cardinal. She's cute. She's saying, "What you looking at?"
Uh-huh.
She's got an attitude, doesn't she?
She's
Yeah.
cute.
She's precious. I love. The male cardinals get all the attention, but I think the females are every bit as pretty in their own way. Which, a lot of times, when a female's a different color and less colorful than a male bird, they're just unattractive. But I really like the cardinals.
Yeah. I like
Really
their
nice.
bright beaks.
And just a little
And
red.
the
Little red scattered here and there, just so you know for sure.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Great job, Peter. Thank you.
Oh, this
Okay,
one's
so
another
this
one
is
to raise.
Ray sent one more of this, and on this one he's gone for the stigma and the astigmatism and the.
Stamen.
That's what I said. He's gone for that sharp, and that's probably the right decision again on this one.
Oh, Peter said his doesn't have the vibration reduction.
Oh, so his must be a D.
Mm.
One of the older ones. Well, it's still doggone sharp, and you're doing a great job keeping it good and steady at that slow shutter speed, Peter. Great job on this, Raymond.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
All right, so we got one more Raymond photo coming up.
Oh, is this one raised too?
That is Casey Tuggle's truck,
Uh-huh.
as photographed with the 120 to 300. This time at the other end of the spectrum at 120 millimeters, 1/10 of a second. It's the slow shutter speed gang, f2.8, and this is just a demonstration of bokeh, is what this is. The headlights are sharp, and you can see the truck fading out of focus. The mirror is soft, and I wonder. That's one of their cars.
I think that's probably Kayla's
I thought-
Infinity, maybe.
Well, I think she turned it in. It
Oh,
was a
did
lease.
she?
Yeah. Anyway, very cool, Ray. That's quite a lens you have there, and you know how to operate it. I can't wait to see what you submit next week. Ray already knows what the challenge is next week. I told
You
him.
would flip.
Yeah. Oh. Look at this.
Oh,
All right. So this is Heather's. Heather and I went out specifically to make bokeh photos. I mean, I did some other stuff. I already had my bokeh shots, but Heather was using the Z50, and I said here, she's got that 18 to 400 lens, which you can do bokeh with it, and she's got the 10 to 24, but neither one of them have a really wide aperture. I said, here, try the Nifty 50. So she put the Nifty 50 on the Z50, the 50 millimeter 1.8G, and in the video we made about this, I talked about how I've seen lots and lots of people make lots of photographs at the Umbrella Alley in Chattanooga, but most of them are trying to get the umbrella sharp. Heather blew them out at f1.8. All the icicle lights are bokeh-fied, and the umbrellas are out of focus. And this is the first photo that I've seen take advantage of these lights over here as part of the photo. Heather sat way to the right of the alley. Anyway, and don't I look goofy? And Heather ordered me this mask, had my logo put on it, which Heather designed that logo, by the way, in case you guys are curious. And my fat head is too big, so the elastic was too short. So she bought elastic and sewed longer elastic on it, so I can have a mask with my logo. Thank you, Heather. You're pretty neat.
Oh, Mike asked where you got the mask.
Yep,
I made it.
Heather made it. She sure did. All right. And now this shot is so cool. This is with, and I know Joy and several others have this lens. This is with the DX 35 millimeter f1.8G, and we were on the top of the City Park parking garage that's on Chestnut Street, right across the street from the Umbrella Alley. And there's a string of these lights all the way around the top of the garage, but they weren't illuminated that night. But there's also some lights. We're 5 floors up. There's also some lights that are 1 floor up that go across Chestnut Street. So Heather, rule of thirds, didn't put this light in there and got all those lights 4 floors down nicely bokeh-fied with the really inexpensive but great 35 millimeter f1.8G designed for Nikon DX. Good job, Heather.
Thanks, honey.
You're welcome. All right, so this was last night when Heather and I went to the sunflower field. This is with the Z6 and the 70-200 f2.8G VR2, and that's 200 millimeters at f2.8. So the flower's good and sharp, and the rows of flowers behind it are totally and completely mush. I mean, absolute mush. So anyway, I did 3 bokeh photos. We already saw the one of, oh, that's my third. That's the third and final. Wow, we're moving through this thing. What time is it? 6:53.
Yeah.
So we still need to keep trucking if we're going to get anywhere near close to an hour. All right. So this
reminds me of what you were trying to do with the Hanimex.
Yeah.
What you did do with the Hanimex.
It really does. This is Cuban Rum, who was using a Fuji X-H1 and the portrait lens, the 50 millimeter f1.2, and he is at 1.2 ISO 200. In that video where the picture of my daughter is, I have 2 photos that are very similar to this, where you're just a sprig of small plant coming out of something brown. This is pine needles. Mine was Leland
cypress needles.
Yeah, Leland cypress needles. But this is beautiful. I love the light on this. It's absolutely beautiful. And good job, Cuban Rum.
Yeah, this is very pretty.
That's cool. I really, really like the light on that a bunch. I wonder what kind of little sprig of somethingness that is.
I don't know.
It's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Moving to the next one. Ooh, that's
Cuban
cool.
Rum. This is with the 56 5.6, which
Okay.
I'm not. Oh no, this is 56 1.2, but at 5.6. Oh, Heather's in identification mode. Beautiful, whatever it is. Look at the. Yeah, you can tell.
Royal Poinciana.
Hootie, whatsy, whatsy.
Royal Poinciana.
Hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, yeah.
1, 2, 3. Help me remember
It's
that I'm starting.
7.
Oh, okay. So apparently the 56 millimeter f1.2 is a 7-bladed aperture because it's stopped down to 5.6. You can count the points in the bokeh balls, and even pointed. I like a pointed bokeh ball. I think it's kind of cool looking. It's very attractive. And gosh, look at the colors on that flower.
Oh, wait, go back.
Okay, I'm back.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7. I was right.
Okay. Well, I didn't doubt you in the
I
slightest.
doubted me.
Oh.
Oh, he said it was an almond tree sapling.
Oh,
that's
oh wow! How
cool.
cool is that? Did it? I wonder if it was planted or somebody just spit an almond out, and next thing you know, there's a tree. Very cool. Very cool. That's beautiful right there. I love the color. Gosh, that. I mean, it's hard to get red to be vibrant and not look bad.
Oversaturated.
It's it's really hard to get a male cardinal picture to look good because
Mhm.
the red is. But that looks. I mean,
That looks
it's
great.
super strong without. It doesn't look overdone at all. It doesn't look.
Mm-mm.
Look at this little. That's designed, I bet, to bring in the bugs,
Mhm.
so it can make little plants. All right, very cool, very cool Cuban rum. Joy
Oh.
Adams. Joy Adams. Let's see. She tells us what kind of.
Blue
Yeah.
something.
All right, it's a blue dasher, which is,
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty common one that I mean, I just don't know what they are because I don't know what they are. She made this with her Tamron 150 to 600 at 320 millimeters.
Oh, he said that photo was straight out of camera.
Wow, how about that?
That's cool.
Fujifilm XH1. And so that is beautiful, Joy.
Yeah, this is gorgeous. I like his eyes.
I like the, what is that, dried up grass that it's sitting on?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Very cool. I like, the composition is really good.
Yeah, it is.
And the bokeh's nice. Great job, Miss Joy. Okay. This is
Ooh.
Gate with bokeh, 1/50th of a second at f6.3 with the Tamron 18 to 400 at 92 millimeters. Now, everything over here is pretty and attractive and interesting, but I want you to look at this gas light.
I was looking at it.
I mean, that is awesome back there and the bokeh around it, but look at that. It is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and there's
I
pretty,
like
there's
this.
pretty bokeh here. I wonder, I mean, you can't tell. I wonder if it actually is a gas light. Joy would probably know.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool indeed. What have I done?
You went off the
I've
rails.
gone off the rails on a crazy train. Thank you, Miss Joy. These
Yes, these
are
are pretty.
very nice, especially this.
What are you doing?
Messing up. Okay,
Ooh,
this
Riding
is
Spider.
this is Jessica Whitehorn, who this is the first time she's ever sent a photograph into the live stream. I've known Jessica electronically for probably 8 years because we were both in a photography forum in Chattanooga, and I've only met her once. I met her at the what's the name of that place? At the Nature Center.
Mm.
But anyway, she was kind enough to send in this cool looking spider.
Looks like a riding spider.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think it says some pig on that web?
No.
Lots of beautiful bokeh though. Really, really nice. And if you see where it says Pinky's Adventures, Jessica does garden tours. If you like the garden tour I did of my sister's husband's garden, you might like hers as well. She's got a garden. I'm not sure if it's at her house or where it's at, but she does a weekly tour of that garden to show its progress. It's pretty interesting. So check out Pinky's Adventures on YouTube. Bokeh.
Joy said that was a gaslight.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what it looked like. But these days, it could look like a gas light and be some electronic facsimile. Okay, what is next?
This one.
All right, this is my friend at work who he sent in the pictures from Little Pigeon River last week. And let me get his description. All of these are done with the same lens. He sent in quite a few. These were all taken with the Panasonic Lumix G7, which is a micro 4/3, and they were all made with a Helios 44mm f2, or no, Helios 44, which is not its millimeters. It's an f2 lens. It's 58 millimeters, 58 f2, and if you don't put a speed booster, then that makes it an equivalent of 116 millimeters on his micro 4/3. So this is cool. It's got beautiful bokeh from this vintage lens. I'll have to look up that Helios and see what's up with it. He showed me his Russian Jupiter 11 135 f. I can't remember if it's 3.5 or f4, but the thing is just awesome looking. He brought that to work. I'll have to get him to bring this lens to work because I'd like to see it. So what is that? What is that green thing?
Just some sort of...
You know, it's a piece of a beer bottle. It's like it's a piece of a Rolling Rock bottle, I think.
Oh.
Is what it looks like. I'm almost sure that's what that is. Very cool. So he's got a lot, and let's take a look at him. This is a guitar. I can't quite tell. The switch is at the top like a Les Paul, but I can't. This area here looks a little different than a Les Paul. It might be a Paul Reed Smith or something. I'm not sure. Very cool though. Look at the strings are out of focus up here. I guess the focus point must be here, I guess. And then it just drifts right back out of focus, and there's lots of beautiful bokeh balls on the shiny bits in the background. And this is a contoured body that has lots of beautifulful-ness. Really pretty. Nice work.
I'm about to start geeking out.
You're geeking out?
I'm about to start.
Oh, okay. Be prepared for Heather to go full fangirl here in just a second. All right, so when Matthew started showing me pictures on his phone, one of the things that he made a lot of photographs of is little figurines and things, and they're just cool the way he does it. And this Stitch, and Heather loves Stitch.
I love Stitch.
So anytime we're at Disney World next week, Heather will be going, Stitchy, 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 because she likes Stitch. And here is Stitch sitting in some grass with really beautiful bokeh. And this lens, what I could say the thing was, a Helios 44 58mm f2, it has the circular swirling bokeh. You can almost see it in this shot, and I think some of the ones a little bit later you'll be able to see it even more. But there is Stitchy.
Stitchy.
That's
the Green Lantern.
That's the Green Lantern with some beautiful, I guess, I don't know if you've got marbles or Christmas lights or something in the background. So that is cool. Lots of beautiful colors. And there.
It's from Mario.
Yeah, that's one of the mushrooms, I guess, from Mario. Looking cute.
Oh, here we go. It's the Enterprise.
This is the Enterprise. I'm receiving a call, which I'm going to decline at this time. He told me about this photograph. He didn't want to have to Photoshop the fishing line out or whatever, so he actually, and he had to do this over and over, he dropped the Enterprise and caught it. And I think, if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, forgive me, Matthew, if I'm getting this wrong, if I remember correctly, I think he's got a bunch of marbles in the background with light shining on them. And he dropped the Enterprise. That's why it's got some motion blur in it, and snapped the shot while it was falling to get this Bokalicious Enterprise photo. Very cool. All with that same lens.
Stitchy.
There's Elvis Stitchy, and you can see even more of this the circular bokeh here in this one from that vintage lens. Stitchy. That's cute. Okay, this one's got all sorts of stuff going on. There's some wild looking lens flare happening here. Just all sorts of stuff. It's really cool, artsy fartsy, and beautiful.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know actually.
It's a flower.
It's a pretty flower.
So that one is nice. Great job, Matthew.
These are petunias. I used to plant these in our front yard.
Yeah, I think next year we may go back to petunias. The zinnias are not working out as well. I like the zinnias better for photography, but I don't know. The petunias last year were just awesome. And Heather had some just like that. But this has got beautiful bokeh in it as well. Where do you think the focus point is? Right there?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty. Nice colors. That's a lot of cool colors in that one. A lot of cool colors. All right, this is his last one. And this one, this is a PlayStation 1, the original PlayStation. And this one really shows the swirly bokeh from that Helios lens. Can't really see it down here, but up there you can really see, and it doesn't actually swirl, but the shape of the circles makes it look like a swirl. You know, they're not all pointing in the same direction, and they make a circle. So that is cool. I'm pretty sure that's Matthew's last one. Really appreciate you sending them in, and wish you the best. Thank you. Oh,
That's all of
is
them.
that the last one?
That is the
I do not believe it. We made it.
We made it.
We
It's
made it.
7:06.
All
but
right,
we
so
made it.
let's take those, and I will highlight them all, and I will hit the delete button, and I will say delete from disk, and they are gone. Thanks everybody for sending those in. As you can see, I do not save your photographs. I delete them. They are just for use during the live stream. So thank you very much for sending them in. All right, we are running over, so let's hurry. Let's talk about the next week's challenge. And this is definitely influenced by David Saylor's tagline. You know, he always says, "Until next time, get your camera out and take a picture with it." And they made an acronym of that, or a hashtag GeicoTap. That's what I'm looking for. No greatest hits this time. Send us something new. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's sports or action or birds or landscape or portraits or bokeh, or just take me something fresh. You got from now until July the 22nd to make a photo. I'd like to have as many pictures as possible, but a maximum of 3 per person. You know, if you send me 5, I'm still going to use them, but 3 is probably a good number. You know, if you only want to send 1, that's great, but gosh, we'd love to have 1 from everybody watching this live stream. That would be cool. So, GeicoTap, as David would say, that's his thing, but we're borrowing it for the week. Do something new. No greatest hits. No, I made this picture in July of 2013. Nope. Give me something fresh. Get out there. Actually, you know, there are some restrictions right now in some places. It's harder to get out, but you know, you got 2 weeks. You can find something around the house to make a picture of between now and 2 weeks, or you can go to Disney World, or whatever you go. So that's that. And also one more reminder about this live stream is this coming Tuesday, David's channel, photos with texture. And so make sure and send a photo in to georgiaphotog@gmail.com.
We put the wrong date on there.
I did?
Let's see. Yeah. Should be the 23rd.
Oh, I made a boo-boo.
Thanks, Mike, for pointing that out.
Thanks,
I would
Mike.
not have noticed.
It's July the 23rd. July the 23rd, Thursday, July the 23rd. That is my mistake. That's not Heather's. She was at work. I made a boo-boo. Sorry about that. Thank you, Mike and Heather, for catching that, because I wouldn't have seen Mike's chat because I'm busy running this thing. Do I have David's date messed up?
David's is Tuesday. I think Tuesday is the 14th, and it is.
Well, see there? I can't miss them all. All right, so send in a photo with texture to David at georgiaphotog@gmail.com. I don't know if he has a limit, but I wouldn't send. I don't know how many he wants. You'll have to ask him. But for us, on not this date, but the 23rd, try to limit it to 3, unless you just really got 5 good ones that I made 5 good ones and I want Phil and Heather to see them. Go ahead and send them. But 3 is probably better. So, we appreciate everybody watching. I think this was a pretty good one, all except for my boo-boo on the date. Who are you talking to? Oh, she's
Joy.
saying good night, everyone. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you when we get back from Disney World. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See you real soon.
See you real soon.